In this part of the lecture, we introduce the concept of quadratic forms. Quadratic forms have got a close relation with symmetric matrices. Quadratic forms arise in very important applications, one of them being the optimization of multivariable functions. So first, let us basically understand what a quadratic form is, how to build a quadratic form, and what's the relation between a symmetric matrix and a quadratic form. Now let A denote an n by n symmetric matrix. Now, though theoretically it is not necessary that A should be symmetric, but without a lot of generality and keeping in view the application point of view, it is not um, wrong to imagine that A is symmetric. So we start with a symmetric matrix with real entries, of course, and then X is a column vector, obviously a non-zero column vector. Then you build Q is equal to X transpose into A into X. So when X is a column vector, X transpose will be a row vector. So row vector multiplied by a symmetric matrix multiplied by a column vector will return a 1 by 1 matrix or its a element, and that happens to be a quadratic form. Conversely, given a quadratic form, we can extract from the coefficients the symmetric matrix itself. So let's actually look at two examples. We start with a symmetric matrix A is equal to 1, 3, 3, 8, and we take a two-dimensional column vector x1, x2. So let us find out Q of x is equal to X transpose into A into X. That is the row vector x1 into x2 multiplied by 1, 3, 3, 8 multiplied with the column vector x1, x2. So when you multiply these three, you get x1 squared plus 6x1, x2 plus 8x2 squared. Now, let us see why this is called a quadratic form. If you take each of the terms in Q of x, x1 square is of degree 2, 8x2 square is also of degree 2, and 6x1, x2 is also of degree 2. So it is homogeneous of degree 2 in x1 and x2. Therefore, we call Q of x as a quadratic form. Now, when you take a 3 by 3 symmetric matrix, we get a quadratic form in three variables. So let us take the matrix A is equal to 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, 3, 5, minus 2, 5, minus 9. And we take a three-dimensional column vector x1, x2, x3. So again, we perform Q of x is equal to X transpose into AX. That is the row vector x1, x2, x3 multiplied by the symmetric matrix multiplied by the column vector x1, x2, x3. So Q of x gives us 4x1 squared plus 3x2 squared minus 9x3 squared minus 2x1, x2 minus 4x1, x3 plus 10x2, x3. So there is something to study in the coefficients of Q of x and the given symmetric matrix. Now, the diagonal elements of A are 4, 3, minus 9, which are precisely the coefficients of the squared terms in the quadratic form. Then, when you look at the x1, x2 coefficient minus 2, that's exactly double of the A12 element in the symmetric matrix. When you study the coefficient of x1, x3, which is minus 4 in the quadratic form, that is exactly double of the A13 element in the matrix. Similarly, when we study the coefficient of x2, x3 in the quadratic form, 10, that is exactly double of the A23 element in the matrix. So without having to really multiply X transpose AX, we can directly build the quadratic form by looking at the elements of the symmetric matrix. So this second part is given the quadratic form, how to build the symmetric matrix. This has already been explained. So one must be familiar from of writing the symmetric matrix from the quadratic form and vice versa. Now, one of the important things we study in quadratic forms is the definiteness of a quadratic form. Now, the definiteness of a quadratic form plays a very important role in function optimization, particularly multivariable function optimization problems. So there are 5 definitions one has to be careful about. One is negative definite quadratic form, negative semi-definite quadratic form, positive definite quadratic form, positive semi-definite quadratic form, and an indefinite quadratic form. The theoretical definition is if the quadratic form returns negative values for all vectors x not equal to 0, then it is said to be negative definite. It is called negative semi-definite when q returns negative values or 0 for any choice of x. Positive definite when q returns only positive values. Positive semi-definite when q returns positive values or 0 values. And indefinite when q is positive for some vectors and q is negative for some other vectors. But these are a little bit cumbersome to test. So let us look at alternative definitions. The first 2 properties are based on rank. When the matrix is of full rank, so let us read it. A quadratic form is positive definite or negative definite if and only if its rank is n. That means when the rank of the matrix is n or the matrix A has full rank, then the quadratic form will be either positive definite or negative definite. A quadratic form is positive semi-definite or negative semi-definite if and only if the rank of A is less than n. So whenever A has less than full rank, then it's an indication that the quadratic form is positive semi-definite or negative semi-definite. But by far the most convenient way of testing definiteness of a quadratic form is to find the eigenvalues of the corresponding symmetric matrix. So we say the quadratic form is positive definite if the eigenvalues of A are positive. And quadratic form is negative definite if the eigenvalues of A are negative. And it will be positive semi-definite if the eigenvalues of A are non-negative, but 0 should be one of the eigenvalues. Similarly, negative semi-definite if the eigenvalues of A are non-positive, 0 should be one of the eigenvalues. And a quadratic form is indefinite if some eigenvalues of A are positive and some are negative. Then comes another way of testing the positive definiteness or negative definiteness based on the minors. A quadratic form is positive definite if all northwest principal minor determinants are strictly positive. Similarly, a quadratic form is negative definite if all its northwest principal minor determinants have alternating sign pattern beginning with a negative sign. So minus, plus, that type of pattern will lead to negative definite. So let us look at some examples. Suppose we take q of x, 8x1 squared minus 4x1x2 plus 8x2 squared, and we want to know the nature of the quadratic form in terms of definiteness. So write the symmetric matrix 8 minus 2 minus 2, 8. The eigenvalues are 10 and 6, both are positive, and the quadratic form is positive definite. Second example, q of x is equal to minus 8x1 squared plus 4x1x2 minus 8x2 squared. Write the corresponding symmetric matrix minus 8, 2, 2, minus 8. The eigenvalues are minus 10, minus 6. Both are negative. I'm sorry, it is shown as positive, both negative. Hence, it will be negative definite, not positive definite. Then comes a third example. Minus 2x1 squared plus 2x1 x2 minus 2x2 squared. The coefficient matrix and the symmetric matrix will be minus 2, 1, 1, minus 2. Eigenvalues are minus 5 and 1. So it's a mix of positives and negatives. So this quadratic form is indefinite. One more 3 by 3 example. And this quadratic form is returning eigenvalues 1, 4, 4, which are all positive. Therefore, the quadratic form is positive definite. As already hinted, that the definiteness of quadratic forms play a very important part in understanding optimization of multivariable functions. Now, these 5 diagrams will explain the 5 different definiteness of quadratic forms. Now, the first example is a positive definite quadratic form. So you can see that there is a valley-like structure. So a positive definite quadratic form is a way to explain function minimization. The second one does not have a valley, but it has got a mountain top. So whenever we have a quadratic form which is negative definite, then it helps us to understand the maximization of a function. The third one is indefinite. We can't see a clear maximum, a clear minimum, but we can see a saddle point. So that's explained by an indefinite quadratic form. When it comes to positive semi-definite quadratic form, you should understand that the origin, in other words, the structure explained by the quadratic form will have to touch the origin and still be giving us a minimum. Similarly, when you take a negative definite quadratic, negative semi-definite quadratic form, it should not only give us a peak, but it should also be touching the origin. So these things can be understood when we take up issues of function optimization as an advanced application of quadratic forms. I hope you have understood what a quadratic form is, and then what are the various definiteness and what are the ways to test definiteness of quadratic form. But amongst all, the eigenvalue approach will be the easiest one to determine the nature of the quadratic form.